Here are all of the new Wonder Woman 1984 details. Hot on the heels of Birds of Prey being #1 at the box office, it looks like DC's gearing up for its next superhero outing with this June's Wonder Woman 1984. However, details about this sequel have been pretty Spartan so far. Get it? Anyway, not a whole lot's officially been revealed thus far, apart from the bright new 80s setting and a single glorious trailer. Fortunately, our colleagues over at Entertainment Weekly had a chance to sit down with the cast and crew behind the film and find out a few more tidbits and specifics about what's in store for this neon-soaked sequel. So let's get the spoiler warning out of the way right now, because we know we're going to be discussing Wonder Woman 1984, but you already knew that because you clicked the video. Or maybe you ended up here by accident because of autoplay or whatever portal Steve Trevor fell through in that plane at the end. Who knows? We're not here to judge, and that's not a spoiler. That's just me riffing. Anyway, if you're sticking around, please give us a like and subscribe. Now, first of all, the question on everyone's mind is, what's going on with Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman? We knew there was going to be a bit of a retcon for Wonder Woman 1984 because her backstory in Batman v Superman stated that she went into hiding after World War I, only to emerge nearly 100 years later in BVS. So what's she been up to during all of that downtime? Well, apparently the gift of immortality has taken its toll on her psyche. Executive producer Charles Roven elaborated on this, saying, "She's lost nearly all the people that are important to her because they're not immortal, and her life is actually quite lonely and Spartan. In fact, the only joy that she gets out of it is when she's actually doing something for people, if she can help those in need." That's pretty sad to hear, but at least she's using her pain to help people? Now, of course, that's not the only question on fans' minds. As I mentioned before, how is Steve Trevor, aka Chris Pine, returned to the land of the living, considering that he got blowed up during a bad case of plane explosionitis in the first movie? Now, unfortunately, this article doesn't outright spill the beans on what brought Steve Trevor back from the dead, but it does give us a new look at the dynamic between Diana and Steve. Chris Pine says, "In the first movie, I played the world-weary soldier who's seen all the depravity that humankind is capable of displaying. And in this one, I get to be much more wide-eyed and joyful. My role's really just as a friend, lover, boyfriend, come bodyguard who's trying his best to help Diana on her mission. I'm like the Watson to her Holmes." To which we say, there's a lot of Sherlock Holmes adaptations, but honestly, I'll make room to watch this one as well. Now, of course, we have our own theory about how Steve Trevor might be back in the land of the living, how he shuffled back onto that mortal coil, and it has to do with the film's villain, Maxwell Lord. In the comics, Lord has a version of telepathic manipulation that he uses to get others to do his dirty work, but in the film, his powers might be a little different. Now, according to Pedro Pascal, who's playing Lord, he revealed this about the character. Max is a dream seller. It's this character who encompasses a component of the era, which is, get whatever you want, however you can, you're entitled to it, and at any cost. Ultimately, which represents a huge part of our culture, and this kind of unabashed, it's greed. We think the key word here is that he's a dream seller. It's not hard to see a scenario where Diana and the audience dream of getting Steve Trevor back. And we would imagine Maxwell Lord finding a way to get her wish to come true. But the bigger question is, at what cost? Now, it's worth noting that Maxwell Lord isn't the only villain in this movie, because the film's also going to have Kristen Wiig play Diana Prince's friend turned nemesis, Barbara Minerva, aka Cheetah. While we've still yet to see Cheetah's feline form, one item that had fans hyped was the reveal of Wonder Woman's iconic Golden Warrior armor, which was made famous by the 1996 comic book series Kingdom Come. But how is she going to get her hands on these new duds in this movie? Is she maybe going to return to Themyscira at some point? Maybe take the invisible jet, which she's definitely flying, and I will get to in a moment? Now, we know there's going to be flashbacks to the island. Plus, as I mentioned, as I teased, she's going to be flying her invisible jet as well. Now, this is just speculation, but it would make sense if she wanted to return to the hidden island that she would have to do so using an invisible set of wings. You can't just take a Delta flight to Themyscira. You have to make a layover, or like 3. It's horrible. Now, we also found out that one of the film's action set pieces is going to take place at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, which comic book fans will recognize as the White House from DC Comics. Also real life. Look outside. And that fight's going to leave the presidential home partially demolished. Uh-oh. However, there's one detail that's still throwing us for a loop. It's the reveal that the film is also going to feature an explosive high-speed chase through a Mad Max-style desert, which, let's be honest, Fury Road plus Wonder Woman, I mean, look, you've just activated all the serotonin in my brain at once. Now, all in all, we're excited to see many of our burning questions get answered once Wonder Woman 1984 hits theaters this June. but goddamn is that a long wait. In the meantime, what do you folks think? Are you excited for Wonder Woman 1984? How do you think Steve Trevor got undeaded and not like zombified like the opposite of dead? And why did DC skip right to 1984 without releasing Wonder Woman 2 through 1983? Let's discuss. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? And if you want to get notified every time we go live with a new show or drop a new video, please feel free to mash that little bell. That way you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.